Only a few years had passed since the end of the First World War. The war had left countless people unemployed, struggling to find work. At the same time, the political landscape saw an increasing number of young people joining the movement. In 1919, news of the horrific Jallianwala Bagh Massacre, carried out by British forces, reached Calcutta. The city erupted in protests, strikes, and picketing. Amid all this political unrest, the city's transportation system was pushed into crisis. To make matters worse, a prolonged tram strike brought public transport to a near standstill. As a result, government office workers suffered the most. In an effort to solve the growing transportation crisis, Calcutta witnessed the introduction of its very first passenger bus service. Despite continued opposition and unrest among tram workers, buses continued operating on the city's streets. Designated bus stops were established, giving the new service a more organized structure. Even cargo lorries that were used to transport government goods were fitted with wooden benches and converted into makeshift passenger vehicles. Office workers eagerly climbed aboard these improvised buses as freight trucks were transformed into the city's first buses. The elderly faced the greatest difficulty. Climbing aboard these vehicles was no easy task, as they were built unusually high off the ground. It was a common sight to see two young men helping a middle-aged or elderly passenger climb up by pulling them aboard. Sensing a profitable opportunity, many freight transport operators abandoned their cargo businesses and entered the passenger bus industry. Printed bus tickets were introduced, and ladders were fitted to make boarding and disembarking easier. Operators even obtained official permission from the police commissioner before launching the service. Although a horse-drawn passenger service had operated between Dharmatala and Barakpur as early as 1830, it survived only for a short time. Motor cars remained a luxury reserved for the wealthy, while trams were the primary mode of transport for ordinary people. However, when the tram workers went on strike, the city's entire transportation system was thrown into disarray. It was during this crisis that bus services rapidly gained popularity. Before long, buses became an essential part of daily life, and the industry began to flourish. Seeing the growing profits, foreign companies started entering the Calcutta market. One such company was the World Ford Company, which established its depot near Lal Bazar. Soon, the streets of Calcutta welcomed massive red buses. Their most striking feature was that they were double-deckers, offering passengers a completely new way to travel through the city. The early double-decker buses had open-top decks. They first appeared on the streets of Calcutta in 1926. Riding on these open-top buses quickly became a fashionable experience. For many visitors arriving from villages, a trip to Calcutta simply wasn't complete without taking a ride on one. Inspired by the growing popularity of bus transport, local entrepreneur A.S. Ghosh launched the first bus service between Calcutta and Makardaha. Witnessing the booming demand, the World Ford Company expanded aggressively. Within just 2 years, it had introduced more than 50 buses to the city's roads, and the fleet continued to grow at a remarkable pace. After India's independence, government-operated buses were introduced, and standardized fares were officially implemented. No one can say with complete certainty exactly when bus services first began in the city, but they have now been a part of Calcutta's history for nearly a century. Over the decades, the city has evolved. The metro railway has arrived, traffic congestion has increased, and the growing number of vehicles has contributed to rising pollution. Today, however, modern green technologies have helped bring emissions under better control. Even so, buses remain one of Kolkata's most dependable and accessible forms of transport. No matter where you are in the city, you're never far from one. And somehow, no passenger is ever truly turned away. No room? Move to the back. There's plenty of space. That familiar call has become part of Kolkata's everyday life. So, that was a brief look at the fascinating history of Kolkata's buses. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories like this.